Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing? So, you know, this is crazy. I'm looking at all the new stuff we got coming out here. And it's like, it's stuff, this new killer and, the unknown. Yes, Wormy, the unknown. And then Sable as a killer. Which, I mean, that's all fine. But, I'm a little surprised. Is that just my phone? Wow. The phone is creating some crazy freaking light. Just goes to show how good it works. I just, let's go and see if we can just find the page. I had it and then I lost it. Like, Survivor, the killer, her perks. That, like, here we go, announcements and updates. So they've announced this morning, like 6 hours ago or 7 hours ago, who the actual killer would be and who the, survivor would be. He's a friend of Michaela's. Which is awesome. Can always use another goth girl, like, totally. But it's kind of weird that we've got this, oh my god, where did everything go? Oh no. No results. Even on Behavior's own forums, they got nothing. Go figure, right? Alright, here we go. So, let's take a look at these people's perks and abilities, because I think some of this shit coming out is going to be really fucking trippy. It just seems to me like I might be overstretching just a little bit. Okay, and you're not fucking showing us what the perks are. Oh my god, why is this so fucking annoying? Oh, I know. I'll go through my history because I'll be able to find the last video I watched, which should have been this. There we go. See, this guy, he fucking knows what he's doing, and he's actually looking at the perks and everything, not just fucking flipping through shit. Okay, so let's look at the new killer, shall we? The Unknown. And everyone keeps saying that they keep saying he, but it's actually a girl, which people don't seem to be cluing in on, but, whatever. Unbound. This perk activates for 30 seconds after a survivor becomes injured by any means. After vaulting a window, you gain 9% haste for 30 seconds. So, I mean, that might be helpful overall. I think I don't know if it's worth a frickin'... I don't know if it's worth a perk slot, though. It just doesn't seem like that's going to be the sort of thing that you're going to rely too heavily on. Especially when you got something like Bamboozle or something where you can just block it. And then they just can't get back in there. But, yeah, and it also says this effect cannot stack with itself. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. But still, it doesn't seem all that grandiose. Then there's unforeseen. When you perform the break action on a generator, your terror radius transfers to the generator for 30 seconds, and its radius is set to 32 meters. You gain undetectable for that duration. Then this perk goes on cooldown for 30 seconds. So that's pretty cool, actually. So you like kick the generator and just like walk away, and people will think that you're like over there. But at the same time, like if like let's say there was one or two people working on the generator, and they had it to like 95%, and then you kick the damn thing and you set it back. Like let's say you had Pop Goes the Weasel and you set it back or something, right? Even though it went back down to like 60%, they're still gonna know you're not there, right? When you kick it and they hear the terror radius and they see you leave, but the terror radius stays closer, they're still gonna like know that, right? So I don't know. It's like people are gonna be looking, and like if they see that there's a chase going on the side, because they'll see that, right? If they see there's a chase happening, then obviously the fucking terror radius, they'll just ignore that, I think. So that's one I think I might want to play around with. I think that one will work very well against bots, because bots hate the terror radius and they won't go anywhere near it. So if you're on a map like even RPD, which I love very much, if you were to kick the generator in the main lobby, I think the bots will stay on the outside of the map because they'll be too scared to go anywhere near there. So, yeah. And then again, it's only 30 seconds, so, I mean, it's not even that long. If it was like a minute or something, or until it stops regressing, that would be like you have that Executioner perk, which is like Trail of Torment or whatever, where you kick the generator and you become undetectable until it stops regressing or whatever. Like, if this was like that, where you kicked it and your terror radius stayed there, that would be crazy. But it's only 30 seconds, so I don't know. I just feel like if you kick the generator, you're going to be chasing somebody away, and the duration of you chasing that person, yeah, I don't know. I just don't see that helping all that much, right? It's really hard to say. So that's kind of questionable as well, but...
Hello mate, you stream pretty cool, that's why I follow. I would love to be a fan of yours. If you don't mind, kindly add me on Discord, __.
Well, maybe I'll have a look at it there when I have some free time. Thanks for stopping by and coming in to visit. So, yeah, like, his perk, like, I don't know, I just don't see that secondary perk either being particularly useful. And then, when we get into Undone, which is the third perk he has, this one's interesting, because it's like an offshoot of Pop Goes the Weasel. So, when survivors miss their healing or repair skill checks, you gain 3 tokens. But, like, how often do people, like, miss their skill checks? I mean, I guess that's why they give you 3 tokens for it. Like, maybe it should be 5 tokens? So you only have to have 5 missed skill checks? Because I feel like this, you'll just... Yeah, I don't see Anyway, sorry, I'll finish what the perk does before I criticize it. So, every time survivors miss a healing or a repair skill check, you get 3 tokens. Up to 30 tokens in total. When you perform a break action on a generator, depending on how many tokens you have, it will consume all of those tokens and take that percentage away. So let's say you had all 30 tokens. You will kick a generator and it will lose 30% progress across the board. Doesn't matter... it's 30% of total progress, and then becomes blocked for the same amount of time. So You kick it, it loses 30% progress, and then it stays blocked for 30 seconds. Then, once it's unblocked, only then does it start regressing. Which seems freaking weird. Like, why wouldn't you just use pop? Right? Pop goes the weasel? Kick the generator, put somebody on a hook. That's more likely to happen than people missing massive amounts of skill checks. So, just use Pop Goes the Weasel. That's what I use right now. I wouldn't swap it out for this one. If it was 30% of, like, if it was a 30% chunk of progress across the board, so if you're at 25, it goes to 0, because it, you know, needed that 30% or whatever, like, that would be, like, you know, that would be old Pop Goes the Weasel. But at least in this sense, because you had to, like, build up to it with people missing skill checks, at least then it would make more sense, right? But to just straight up be like, yeah, let's just hope that the people we're going up against have no idea how to do their skill checks and they're going to get me 30 tokens out of it. They have to make 10 mistakes. 10 mistakes on skill checks for healing and repairing in order to get it to 30%. That just seems like you're putting a lot of faith in the opponents to be shitty. And I feel like if they're that trash that they can't hit their skill checks properly, you're probably going to destroy them anyway, so you probably don't even need this perk. So, I don't know. To me, that just seems like an awful waste. And I feel like maybe even if, like I said, if the tokens was 5 instead of 3, then you would only need to do, you know, to get it up to 30, you would only need to do, what, 6? Yeah. So that drops the amount of failed skill checks by 4 and puts it down to just 6 missed skill checks, which I feel would be a lot more likely to happen in one match. But even so, like I said, I don't think you would see that very often unless you're burning a lot of skill checks, or skill check perks to, like, screw with their skill checks, like overcharge or something, or you're making them very small, or if you have Merciless Storm, you know, things that are there to screw people out of their skill checks. I don't see any of these perks being particularly useful. Like, this Undone one does sound very, like, interesting overall, but... And the other one, too, where you transfer your terror radius to a generator, but I don't see that as happening. I think what should happen is, if you could transfer your terror radius to a generator, whether you kick it or not, you just walk up and you hit the button, and it's like... And that's like, now your terror radius is there. That would be really cool. And then you can go around, but if somebody starts working on the generator, it nullifies it immediately. And then it goes on like a minute or a 2-minute cooldown or something. That would make more sense for a perk like that, I think. And like I said, Undone sounds like the best perk out of all the ones he's got, but even this one, it seems like a poor man's Pop Goes the Weasel. I don't know why you would want to do this one. It's just... I just don't see that one banking enough. Because with Pop, I'm going to hook somebody, and now I got 30% destruction. For one action, I've got the 30%, right? Whereas this one, your opponents have to make 10 mistakes for you to, like, get any real worth out of this thing. And I just... Yeah, I don't see that happening. And the Survivor, on the other hand, she's got some interesting stuff. And I'll talk about the killer's secondary power. He has this ability to shoot a blob out that bounces off of the environment. He can charge UVX. Once ready, press the attack button to launch UVX, a bouncing projectile which creates a blast area upon impact. Survivors become hindered if touched by the UVX while it's airborne. So I guess the little thingy, the little blobby it shoots will bounce off of you, and make you hindered. Touching the blast area, you become weakened. Weakened survivors lose health states if touched by blast areas. Survivors lose weakened by successfully staring down the unknown. Whatever the fuck that means. Like, successfully staring down, like what? Does that mean, like, if I pallet slam him and then I just look at him? Or a flashlight stun him? Like, what the hell do you mean staring him down? We're gonna have, like, a quick time event where we're gonna, like, both have to do something to, like, stare each other down and see who wins the staring contest? That just sounds really weird. But okay. And then a special ability, hallucinations. The unknown will intermittently create hallucinations. They cannot be created while charging UBX, performing interactions, or in proximity to map objects like hooks. Like, okay. Whenever survivors are touched by blast areas or otherwise become weakened, the next hallucination spawn time decreases by 10 seconds. And you can teleport to hallucination. But what does a hallucination do? Like, is it just like a dummy that stands there to, like, make people fucking scared to go to that area? Like, that would be interesting if you paired that, like, if that other perk, like I told you about, did what I did and you transferred your terror radius and then you left a hallucination there so people could see you there and think that the terror radius is attached to you, they might stay away from the generator that was at 90 that you just kicked, right? But at the same time, like, what the hell is... What, yeah, like, what is it? It just sounds weird. And the unknown can teleport to hallucinations, leaving behind a temporary decoy. Again, okay. Survivors can remove hallucinations from the trial with the Dispel ability. Weakened survivors take longer to dispel. If Dispel is not completed, survivors become weakened and trigger Killer Instinct. So, like, okay. I guess that makes sense. But, you know, just not to me. Like, what is the hallucination? Is it like triggering the hag's fucking shit where she, like, erupts out of the ground? It's like, ha! Is it a hallucination like the Doctor's hallucination, where it's just like a floating image of him, which you know is fake because, you know, you're not tripping balls, especially if he's chasing you, you just know it's not real? Okay. Like, is that what the hallucination is? Weakened survivors take longer to dispel, and, like, what's the dispel ability? Like, what's the functionality on that? We should have an explanation as to how that works. Survivors become weakened and trigger Killer Instinct if they fail to dispel, or if they don't dispel. Like, okay. Maybe you could give us an explanation as to what all that means. What's the radius on the explosion of the UVH or whatever, or UVF? And then we got the new survivor. We got Sable Ward, who's a friend of Michaela's. She's a little goth girl, so she'll be really cool to have in here. Can't wait to see her. And her perks are very interesting. A little questionable, but interesting nonetheless. So we're introducing a new gameplay method. Before there was, Hex Totems is like a gameplay thing. Then we had boons, right? Well, now we're going to have invocations. So she has an invocation, Weaving Spiders. This invocation takes 129 seconds, so 2 minutes, to perform this invocation in the basement. So you gotta go find the 4 hooks in the basement, and then do this ritual in the basement for 120 seconds, for 2 minutes, and any other survivors see your aura during this, and they can choose to come and join the ongoing interaction, increasing the speed of it by 100% each. Oh wait, no, sorry. It's really small writing. By 50% each. If they have an invocation perk themselves, then it goes up to 100%. So now it's happening 200 at like 100% faster. So instead of it being 2 minutes, now it'll be 1 minute. And when it's finished, they become injured, gain the broken status effect for the rest of the trial. Actually, that's pretty cool when you consider that. So they become injured, gain the broken status effect for the rest of the trial. So basically, you'll be hurt the rest of the trial when you do it. All remaining generators, however, gain 15 charges instantly. So let's say you haven't done any generators. Every generator on the map is now at 15%. And it doesn't say... it doesn't look like it's worded to be permanent. Like if you put if you have an extra part in a toolbox, that takes 10% permanently off whatever generator you did it on. It doesn't look like this does 15 off of every generator in the frickin' game. Because that would be fucked up if it did that. But that's still a lot, especially if you take into consideration, like, towards the end, if you guys are trying to do your last generator, or the last 2 generators even, and they go to the basement to do this, that's going to be the time to, like, make the most of this, right? And boost everything by 15%, because you'd have, what? If you have 2 gens left, you'd have 5 gens on the map. If all 5 generators suddenly jump up by 15%, that could potentially pop the last 2 gens if people just 99 the gens. And then here's what you could do, and I'm going to test this. You could get the generators to 90%, ditch them, head to the exit gate, and then have somebody performing the ritual in the basement at the same time. So that way they finish it and it boosts all the generators 15%. That would pop the last 2 gens. You could be at the exit gates, opening the exit gates the second the gens pop. Instantaneously. Like that. And I'm going to test that. It's only in the PTB right now, so I can't test it today. But when this comes out, I'm definitely going to test that theory out. Because, yeah, that'd be an interesting way to shave off that last portion of the frickin' of the generators. Especially if you had 2 generators left on the map and you got them both to 90 and you did that invocation, you could finish them both instantaneously while there's nobody at the gens. And you could just be at the exit gates. That would be really interesting to see. Oh boy. And if they had that other perk where you open exit gates faster, you could even open the exit gates faster than that. I know, Wormy, I shouldn't be giving people ideas, but this is my idea, and I think it's a cool one, and I want to try it out. Some things are going to be survivor-sided that I do, okay? So that's her first perk. That's only 1 perk she has so far, which is really awesome. So we're going to get new invocations, which will be really awesome. So future survivors will have, invocations of their own. So we'll see more people using the basement, which I think is kind of cool. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the basement. I mean, it could be like just the center of the map, right? If somebody has the thing, they could run to the center. Yes, Wormy. Yes, you're very sexy in your chains. Everybody, take a look at Wormy's chains, because we bought him some chains once the Stranger Things DLCs all came back. We got him some armored hands. So he's very proud about his appearance now. He's been given some upgrades. But yeah, so the spiders. Strengthen the Shadows is her next perk. When in the basement, this perk activates. Allows you to heal without a med kit at 60% normal healing speed. When you finish a heal in the basement, you see the killer's aura for 10 seconds. So it's self-care and an aura reading perk. All for healing in the basement. And this is what and the next thing I'm going to say, if you combine this with botany knowledge, that's healing at 110%. Because botany knowledge gives you an extra 50% healing speed. And if this gives you 60, all you have to do with botany knowledge and this perk is go in the basement, and you will heal 110% faster. Like, does that not come across as being potentially a bad idea for people? Like, I feel like they're just gonna fucking blow through healing, man. Like, this could be like a huge thing. Another thing I'm gonna try out, because I want to see that meter go up. I feel like that meter's gonna go hella fast. So then, Wicked. View rare sable, a very rare sable ward perk. So this perk starts with 1 token up to a maximum of 5. For each token, you recover from the Mangled status effect 20% faster. Yes, and Mangled has been updated and changed as well, which is worth mentioning. That's why this sounds kind of weird if people aren't aware. Mangled has been changed now. Mangled will no longer be a permanent effect. If you get hit by it, it only lasts now. You only stay mangled for a certain amount of time before it passes, whether you get healed or not. So that's kind of cool. So, honestly, Sloppy Butcher is everywhere since they nerfed healing. So to see them sort of like nerfing, Mangled, the effects of Mangled, and toning that down, I think is going to help a lot. But yeah, for each 10 seconds spent in the basement, or is it 15 seconds? I think it's 15 seconds. For each 15 seconds spent in the basement, you gain 1 token, up to 5. While affected by the cursed status effect, you heal 10% faster. So, yeah. Wow. So you'll recover from Mangled 100% faster after, like, spending, like, almost a minute in the basement. And if you have those botany knowledge and her other healing perk, you'll just heal everything. I mean, this perk is almost useless considering that, right? Why use Wicked at all if you can just use her other perk to heal in the basement and then combine it with botany knowledge and heal at 110% in the basement? If you're going to be in the basement anyway, you might as well be healing 110% faster, and then who cares if you're mangled at that point? Because you'll just heal it away in like a matter of seconds. I feel like that thing will go so fast. It's probably only enough time for maybe even 1 skill check to go through, and then you won't even get another one because it'll be finished by the time you're finished doing your first skill check. Yeah, man, wow. That's so crazy. So those are the perks. And Sable, she looks pretty cute. Can't wait to see her. But, unknown animations. And then there's just a lot of stuff where, people want to show off. Oh, this is what the thing looks like. But yeah. They buffed a bunch of the killers too. Frickin' the Huntress, Anna, she just got a frickin' buff. She's gonna carry more hatchets now. She's gonna carry 7 hatchets. She's gonna wind up 10% faster than she did before, and she's gonna move faster while she's holding a hatchet up. Like, she wasn't frickin' dangerous enough before. They thought she needed to be, like, even more so. So she's gonna be nuts. And then they just nerfed Blight to make him easier to deal with. Well, now they just buffed him all over again. So I just like, what the shit are these guys doing? I just don't know. Developer update. February. Okay, let's get to finally found it again. So they've tweaked several of the killers. The pig is one. You've decided to buff the pig. And now, oh, you shitting me. 1 second. Hello? Hello? I just fucking did. I have to take this. I will be right back. God damn it. Fuckers. Cassie? You up, Cassie? Four 458-3776. Internet. I don't know. Canceling my service.
Here you are wanting to cancel. If your services are on a service agreement and you wish to cancel before the expiry date, cancellation fees will apply for each month remaining.
Yes. That's all I ever wanted.
Okay, let me get someone to help you.
Yeah.
Your current wait time is about 15 minutes. Please wait while we transfer your call. Let me search for a team member to help you.
I'm not fucking doing this. The middle is freaking working here. Alright, sorry about that, folks. It was an important call. Alright, so as I was saying, we were talking about the killers updated, the Huntress, the Blight. Let's start at the top of the list. So the Pig! In a shocking turn of events, they've decided to buff the Pig. So, the Pig's ambush and crouching abilities. Her ambush... Yes, I know, she's getting a buff and so are you, but we'll get to you, Wormy, so just wait a second. So, she's got an increase to her ambush duration, 2.3 seconds, as it was only 2 seconds. Apparently this fraction of a second is going to make a big difference. I don't see how 0.3 of a second is going to help, but whatever. Decreased ambush successful attack cooldown is going to go down to 2.7 seconds, and it was 3 seconds, so they're going to remove 0.3 seconds from the cooldown. Again, okay, I guess. Decreased ambush missed attack cooldown. So if you miss your swing at him, it's going to be 1.5 seconds instead of being 2 seconds. So, okay. Crouching. Crouched movement speed will be 3.8 instead of 3.6. Decreased time taken to crouch. Crouching will only take 1 second to crouch now instead of 1.3. So, her little ass will go down faster. Reverse bear traps. The pig can no longer see the auras of jigsaw boxes. So that's pretty good, actually. So she can't go around trying to camp boxes and other things like that. That's pretty cool. Reverse bear traps now have a base timer of 3 minutes instead of 2.5. So they added 30 seconds to it. Which I think is pretty decent. Because I find that, like, if your friends go fucking popping generators and you're trying to get your bear trap off, it can be pretty close to get that thing off. Because you have to go, like, I find almost always for me, I have to do all 4 boxes. I either pop it off on the first box or the 4th box. That seems to be my luck. So, to have an extra 30 seconds to do that, I think is pretty good. The pig can now cover 15% more ground with her ambush attack, making it harder for survivors to break away from the loop. They've also made missed attacks less punishing to encourage her ambush attack more often, which is true. I had actually never used her ambush attack because it was just a fucking waste of time. And I updated her successful attack cooldown to match the normal basic attack cooldown. So the ambush missing a swing will now recover as fast as missing just a regular attack. Which I feel like it should have just been like that to begin with, but you know. Improving her crouch makes it quicker and easier to set up an ambush and yada. A handful of add-ons that decreased her missed attack cooldown and crouch time have had their effects reduced to compensate, as their effects are now part of her base kit. So, pretty standard. The Hag. The most popular Hag add-ons decrease the setting time of her traps and increase the distance at which they can be teleported to. With that in mind, they have increased the maximum teleport distance to 48 meters, as it was 40, so that's actually considerable. Decrease the Phantasm Trap setting time to 0.9 seconds instead of 1. So 0.1 of a second has been taken off of it. Okay, guess so. Whatever. She's got like 50 of the things. Does she really need to, like, be slower putting them down? Additionally, they have increased the time a triggered Phantasm Trap remains active to 6 seconds. It was 5 seconds. And then they increased the time to wipe away a Phantasm Trap to 4 seconds, as it used to be 3.5. So, half a second longer now to wipe away a frickin' Phantasm Trap. Like, okay. Oh god, why am I yawning so much? These adjustments will make it easier to set and teleport to Phantasm Traps, reducing the reliance to add-ons to improve these aspects. You know, the few Hags I played didn't seem to have frickin' problems doing that, but, you know, whatever. I guess you're trying to improve people and have more people playing her, but I find her, she's just not all that great, but whatever. As for triggering the traps, she had some add-ons which increased their trigger range. So, looking at that stuff now, decreasing the base trap rigger range to 2.7 meters, and as it was 3 meters now. The Bog Water, Bloodied Water, and Bloodied Mud add-ons, which previously increased the trap trigger range, have had their effects inverted and now decrease the trap trigger range. Interesting. And I haven't really ever played the Hag, so I'm not really sure how that'll pan out, but like the Pig, the effects of some of the add-ons have been toned down now that part of the effects are always active. So, okay. The Clown is getting a freaking buff. Holy shit. Between the two bottles, the Clown's Afterpiece Tonic is the clear favorite for most players, because you can throw your pink bottle, which poisons, and you can throw your orange bottle, which gives a buff. So they want to show more love to the antidote, the Orange Cloud, and make it more compelling. So they're increasing the antidote speed boost to 6 seconds, so they're giving an extra second to your speed boost you gain from it. It used to be 5 seconds, now it'll be 6 seconds. They also decreased the antidote activation time to 2 seconds, which was 2.5 seconds. So it's half a second faster, so okay. Additionally, we have increased the base bottle carrying capacity to 6 bottles. It was 4. That's crazy. That's going to be a lot of freaking bottles now, man. Decrease the visual intensity of the afterpiece tonic effects to reduce motion sickness. That's, again, like, okay, I guess so. It's going to be kind of a shame you can't quite have a psychedelic freak out. But there you have it. This will allow the clown to clown around the map more easily. Yeah. The Doctor. His practices may call his PhD into question, but he's been honing his craft. So, they made the following adjustments. Shock therapy's range is currently at 12 meters. Is going to be 12 meters. It used to be 10.7, so that's adding about a meter and a chunk to the range of shock therapy. So that's actually kind of cool, because that was really short. It always felt really short without the add-ons to boost it. Decrease shock therapy detonation delay. So it's going to be 0.8 seconds to cast it now, instead of 1 whole second to cast it. So that's cool, I guess. These changes will make his shock therapy attack feel more responsive and allow it to reach slightly further. And once again, the add-ons which provide the similar effects have been toned down to take his new base kit stats into account. Yes, Wormy, it's all about you now, Wormy. The Demogorgon, a short and sweet one for everyone's favorite upside-down killer. That's you, little Wormy. You little cutie, you. So, a decreased successful shred attack cooldown to 2.7 seconds. So, if you do your flying shred attack and you cleave someone, the recovery was 3 seconds. It is now 2.7. So, when you hear that, Wormy, you're gonna ass slap people faster than you did before. Well, I mean, yeah, it could have been better, but that's still decent, so don't complain too much. Before they take it back, man, come on. This change brings the Demogorgon Shred attack back in line with modern standard basic attack cooldown. Barb's classes and the Black Card add-ons have been adjusted to compensate now that their effects have been incorporated into the base kit. Here we go. Here's the Huntress. This is the one I was talking about when I first started mentioning the tweaks to the characters, right? So, her hatchet capacity is 5 right now. It's going to go up to 7. They're giving her 2 additional hatchets. Increasing her movement speed while holding a hatchet to 3.54. It used to be 3.08. And her wind-up speed to wind up the throw is going up by 10%. Like, does it just not seem like that's a bit freaking much? Like, anytime I face a Huntress, and this player knows, like, the Huntress' players know what they're doing. And their hatchets, it's like I say, they're throwing freaking cars at people that are skinned as hatchets, because it's like, you hide behind, like, the couch and, like, a wall of, like, freaking, like, cushions, and she throws the hatchet, like, up here, and I feel it down there. So, like, did she really need more hatchets and to move faster while she's holding a hatchet out and while she's winding up? Did she need that much boosting? I don't think she needed that at all. I mean, I can understand the hatchets because they're saying, well, there's no lockers, immediately around and that can screw you. But at the same time, it sort of teaches you to, like, throw and don't miss. Make your hatchets count. Make them worth it. Because 9 times out of 10, when you throw someone on the hook, there's a frickin' locker nearby for you to immediately reload from. So, yeah, I don't know. The Mana Braid and Flower Babushka add-ons, which increase the hatchet wind-up speed, have had their effects reduced slightly to compensate. So, okay. Buffing somebody who doesn't need it. The Blight. Lastly, we wanted to fine-tune the Blight add-on, which was changed in one of the recent updates, Compound 33. Compound 33 now limits the Blight's rushes to 3 as it was 2, so they gave him an extra rush while using Compound 33. Mangold. So here's what we were talking about earlier. Dude, I know, but we're done talking about you. We're talking about perks now, Wormy. Mangold. Mangold currently provides a lot of value throughout the match by slowing down survivor healing. At the moment, there's no way for survivors to remove the Mangold effect other than healing through it. We want to make the status effect more interesting and introduce some risk and reward to it. So the Mangold status effect will now have a limited duration, with the exact duration depending on the source and ranging between 60 and 90 seconds. This maintains Mangold's effectiveness at slowing down healing while forcing survivors to make a choice. Do you spend more time to heal now, or risk staying injured until the effect expires? Wormy, if you don't chill, I'm going to put somebody else up there. Just shush. Now, Bloodweb improvements. In the previous update, we added the ability to... So this whole Bloodweb improvement, long story short, you know how when you get a new player, like a new character, and you want to prestige them by clicking the center of the Bloodweb and just buying it and spending your points massively fast, but you can't because right now you have to get them to prestige 1 in order for the tab to be in the middle. They're just putting the frickin' tab in there. As long as you have any one character, survivor, killer, or whatever, at prestige 1 already, all of your other people will be that way. So, yay. They fixed the Bloodweb for people the way they want. The public test build starts this week, which it is as of right now. People are playing it with the new killer and the new survivor. I can't because I'm on console, and fuck me. So, yeah. But yeah, the Mangold status effect ranging between 60 and 90 seconds. My guess is the lower will be like the Huntress throws the hatchet because she has the hatchets that cause the Mangold status effect. So that's my guess, is that would be like the 60 second. But if you have Sloppy Butcher and you hit them with your main weapon, then it's 90 seconds then, because it's like, you know, they're taking like a serious axe to the face. So I can see that's how the Mangold status effect will take effect. But yeah, so Mangold will only last for 90 seconds now, which is about the duration of a generator. So it's like, fix you. Wormy, yes. It's a good thing. Balance is important. So, yeah, I mean, it's like just go do a generator if you don't want to heal, and then the Mangold will end, and then you can heal at the same regular decent speed. Or if you're using that girl's new perks, Sable's new perks, and botany knowledge, heal at 110% speed in the frickin' basement and just be done with it. But yeah, so lots coming. I gotta say, I'm impressed with a lot of this stuff. It's definitely coming around. I'm curious why the Huntress needs to be more dangerous. I really am. But I know you should have been given a buff, right? You should have been given two shred attacks with no cool. You know, the first shred attack doesn't have a cooldown, and then the next one, you know, is where you get your cooldown. That'd have been a cool add-on for you, right, Wormy? Totally. Considering they buffed or nerfed your best iridescent add-on. But yeah, so there it is, folks. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about it all, really. Oh. Not sure what else to say about it. Just wanted to come in and discuss these updates and, you know, just sort of put my thoughts out there for what it's going to be like. I look forward to finally being able to play the Killer and Survivor. All the other streamers, the big badass streamers, they're all playing it right now, of course, and, you know, getting in all their experience, so that way when us wankers finally get it a month from now and we try playing against them, they'll have a massive advantage on us, but oh well. That's why I'm going to play offline for the first while until I get the hang of everything. But at the same vein, I'm going to have to save up my 2 million blood points now to frickin' level them both up to Prestige 1. Or almost Prestige 1. get their perks going in the blood webs for everybody. Oh wells. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. That's what we're facing down the barrel of at the moment. Some interesting times we are living in. And it'll be really interesting to see that new killer get thrown up in here in the lobby. I've seen some of the gameplay of him, and he looks a little interesting. I didn't want to spoil too much because I want to do first impressions with him as well. So that'll be cool. The Iron Maiden cosmetics are releasing in 2 days. So that'll be really interesting because I wanted to get the Doctor's Egyptian one. That one looks amazing. There's so many cool things coming to this game right now, I'm not gonna lie. Lots happening. So, yeah, for now, that's it, folks. I am doing my retro stream in about, I think it's in like 2, maybe 3 hours, and it's Super Mario Brothers 2. So that'll be a fun one. Can't wait to do it. In the meantime, I'm Bot Whisperer. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello, those that have. And, yeah, thanks to everybody who's followed me recently. I noticed there was a couple people who had followed me while I was offline. So thanks to you guys. You all mean the world to me. And, yeah. We're sitting at 189 followers. We're almost at 200. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. It's worth being proud of. In the meantime, y'all take care, and I'll see you all next stream. Have a good one, folks. Oh, check out my YouTube, Bot Whisperer. Tons of shit there. Lots of videos. Have at 'em. Goodbye.